Okay, we are back inside, so hi. Um yeah, Scoot, Missy. We're back inside. Sorry about that. And these are the seedlings that I showed in my previous video. They were planted on the 16th, so we're a couple of weeks out now, and a couple of things have changed since that last recording. So first off, I didn't have any lights to go above here. I was using this window that's now closed. And I noticed that my seedlings were starting to get really leggy, like the tomatoes back here. And I don't want them to grow in that manner. I want them to be much more compact. So what I would like to do for my next video is show you how I'm going to fix my leggy seedlings. So that'll be coming up next. But those are the 4 varieties of tomatoes. I'm going to try to remember them, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget something. I know there's the brown sugar is one of them. The Rebel Starfighter Prime is one, and then there's 2 other varieties. I think one might be San Marzano, and something else. I'll have to go back and check. But here I've got some beets, which are also leggy, which they are probably not going to come out of these cells very well and survive, if I'm being honest. But hey, we'll find out when it's time to pop them out. This one, I believe, is arugula here. We've got some kale and collards. And then in these cells that aren't showing anything, I planted spinach there. I think it's way too warm in my loft area for them to germinate up here. And it looks like I'm seeing a little bit of mold there. So I definitely want to address that so it doesn't spread to the other plants. We have the roselle, which also started growing very, very quickly after I moved it up here from the previous video. And again, very leggy. I think it's going to be really important for me to maintain the light situation. And this is by no means a permanent setup. It was just an emergency thing that I needed to do because I wanted to keep my plants growing. But maybe I will record a separate video on what I am moving towards in place of the current arrangement that I have here, which is very haphazard. But what I'm learning as I start talking to other gardeners is that we do what we have to do in order for our plants to live. So sometimes that means setting up some lights and sitting it on top of your art bin in order to make it work. We're trying to keep everything moving. So for now, it's okay. We've got multiple varieties of peppers here. Now, during the last video, they hadn't sprouted at all, and that was before I did the overhead lighting. Actually, these cells here have little LED domes that I attached to the pepper plants and I think the tomatoes right after that first video. And within a day, like the tomatoes were way too tall and I had to take the dome off. But the peppers seemed to really, really enjoy it. I left it on there as long as I could until it got to the point where the leaves started splitting like this, showing that those first set of true leaves should be popping out of there soon. And I wanted to make sure that they're getting, oops, sorry about that, the appropriate amount of light. So that's why they do not have the lid on them anymore. And I think they're doing pretty well. They are leaning a little bit towards the light. What I normally do in the morning is take this tray and turn it in the opposite direction so that they can kind of lean back. I didn't do that this morning because I was trying to edit the last video that I uploaded, which is now like 2 weeks old almost. So, you know, try to keep it moving so that you guys can see what's going on with everything. The last 2 I have, and it looks like I'm about, my co-star is back. Let me get her out of the way there. We have lemongrass, which I think is growing rather nicely inside of this bag. It has been leaning a lot less since I got the light, so that's good. And it also looks like it's starting to get to that point where the next set of leaves will be coming out. So that'll be interesting to see those. And then inside of this baking tin, I've got all of my basil seeds. I don't know if you can see those really well in there with the lid on, and it's kind of hard for me to share all of that while I'm holding the camera. But you can see some of the ones in the back. They're growing straight up, which is not what they were doing before. And they look healthy. They look healthy. They look good. I'm feeling good about everything that I have planted right now. But again, I'm working off of a very small space. So I'm trying to get as many plants as I can into a very small area. So I'm working on it. I actually have a bigger, better plan for what that looks like so that I can get more of my plants started growing so we can get them out in those empty beds right now. Because right now I feel like I'm just wasting space for no good reason. So I want to work on that. So next video will definitely show you what I'm doing with my leggy seedlings. I'd also like to do one on the lighting situation, how that's going to go. And I want to talk to you about what's happening in my new grow space that I'm working on. So probably not all of those in one video because that's a lot. But if you like any of those particular topics, then let me know down in the comments. Let me know which one you want to see first, and I'll get to going on that. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.